What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode on Croc Talk TV of the 49365 post game reaction show. Coming to you a day late. Couldn't get the actual post game reaction because I was actually watching the game with JB and had to fly back out to LA right after the game. But it's always good to fly on a victory Sunday, a victory, getting the win over the Eagles. Big game, starting off 2-0. My name is B. Mechi, positive energy and good vibes. As always, I'm with JB.
What's popping, B? What's popping, Faithful? I'm over here sending a tweet out saying we on Croc Talk TV. We taking over this shit. He don't even know we on this right now. We on
Man, it's
Croc Talk TV live and direct.
I ain't gonna lie, Croc might be asleep. It's 9:34 Cali time, so I don't know where he's at. I know he went to the game, and it was a lot of faithful out there, man. I mean, it's always a good time seeing all the different people connect. You know what I'm saying, on your feed. You seeing different videos from all angles of the stadium. You got the Trust the Process shirt every season, man. I ain't gonna lie, that okay, yeah. That's let them know what it is, man. Man, RIP to our boy Keandre, man, every season. A real special person, entrepreneur, just somebody who was doing something positive for the youth. Had his clothing brand every season, which it looks like you rocking the shirt of right now. And unfortunately, he passed away. A car accident situation. Just this previous week. So definitely somebody who, through your Trap Art organization and everything that we're doing with that, he was a big part of that. In the fashion shows and the magazine, just everything that we were doing, he was a part of it. And we did our best to be a part of his message, man. So I mean, I feel like it applies to everything, man. It applies to sports, it applies to life, man. Through all the rainy days, the sunny days, the snow, whatever it is, every season you got to keep going. You got to just stay on your path and keep going, man. So that's what it's really about, man. For real. I wasn't ready for that, but I'm glad that you brought that shirt and that you wore that, because man, like, it's so dope to tap in with this faithful community that we in, this family that we in, because it's like no matter what you're going through, we just so focused on the games and stuff, but it's real life thing. It's real life stuff going on behind the scenes. So definitely RIP to Keandre, man.
Hell yeah, every season, man. My dog gotta rep it, man. It felt, I got this. I had to put it on today, man. But
Yeah.
but yeah, every season we on this Niners, man.
Yeah.
Every season. This year 2-0.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I was talking to my wife, and she obviously is not as tapped in as we are, and just she's like, wow, that's crazy that we're 2-0. And I'm like, we be so tapped in, and I'm me personally, you always are hearing about like the podcast or the media, like they always talking about our roster, like Super Bowl roster, and all this, that, and the third. But each year it just seems like we get disappointed, like, and we
Yeah.
start off slow. And so this 2-0, we can't take it for granted, because it's not a lot of times we've been 2-0.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. Definitely can't take it for granted. Let me get the light situation right. Okay, there we go. Definitely can't take it for granted. But the question is, I feel like on 49ers Twitter, I want to make this as similar to a post-game show as it would be, because that's what the people are expecting. And getting back into the right after the game, energy. You go on Twitter, you go on 49ers Twitter, it seems to be almost a split fan base that's developing between like the whole, this whole Jimmy G, this whole quarterback situation. And really not even about, I would say, specifically after this game, about Jimmy versus Trey, but more so even before getting there about Jimmy's performance, like just criticizing him like overall, like just the fact of criticizing him alone in a win. Is it too much criticism he's receiving? Is it not enough? I feel like that alone, there's a split on, at least on 49ers Twitter, and Twitter's always a polarizing thing. People go on there typically to, express their emotions, and they're usually one way or the other. It's not really neutral thoughts on there, but it seems like that's the pulse. And I guess, like, starting off with that topic, like, how much do you criticize our quarterback in a winning effort like this when the team wins? I guess the first thing that comes to mind is Tom Brady. the greatest winner of all time in our sport. And you know, you look at Tom Brady, and after his game, 5 touchdowns, pretty much another on the path to MVP sort of season performance from him. And he comes up to the podium and he's like, "Yeah, I left a lot of things out there, a lot of things to work on, yada yada yada." You know how he does. And it just reminds me, it's like, yeah, if you want to be great, you're not gonna just be like, "Oh, we won, everything's fine." Like that's the only thing that matters. Like, no, it's very important, and that's definitely like the staple. Definitely got to get that win in there. Like that's all good. And Jimmy G, you've been the quarterback that's been on these teams that we've won with. But at the same time, like, is it not fair to criticize, especially as a fan? Like, not even like, is it fair to criticize and say this
It's
could
not
have
okay
been
to
better?
criticize.
Say it again.
Who said it's not okay to criticize?
Well, I mean, I don't. You haven't seen anything on 49ers Twitter where it's like Jimmy G's getting all this hate. You guys hate on Jimmy G so much. He's won all these games for us. He's a winner. We won the game. Why are you guys tripping? 2-0. You go on 49ers Twitter and you would think the sky is falling. You go on.
Well,
It's a lot of that.
I
It's a
feel,
lot of that.
I feel it, but it's just like, I mean, it's just people have different opinions on it. Like you're like some people look at the game like myself, and I don't walk away with it being like, damn, Jimmy G. Like, I walk away with it being like that's a tough win, and he led us to the win. He helped us win. He helped us win. He didn't carry us on his back, but he had to make some plays that he helped us win. And I know other people might be like, well, whatever the third. He missed some throws early and he wasn't doing good, but I just feel like it's a different opinion upon how he played.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And what is your opinion? I guess like what would you have to say about it? Because I think we had different views, at least from like after the game ended and whatnot. And granted, I might have been on one a little bit. I just feel like when you play a team like Philly, you gotta get in your talk shit mode. You gotta get a little rowdy a little bit. You gotta maybe have a cold one next to you and whatnot. So I was definitely in that vibe, and maybe that kind of I don't want to say maybe calm me down a little bit watching the game. But what was your opinion? Because I feel like we had different kind of viewpoints at the end of the game.
My opinion, like I text you earlier in the week. I said I don't care about a blowout. All I want is a win. That's all I remember. After the Lions week, I was like, I don't care about no blowout, nothing like that. I just want to win. And like
Well,
we
under that criteria, we got it done. So I guess you have nothing to be critical over or disappointed over because we,
It's
we
not
got the
about being
objective done.
critical. It's not it wasn't perfect. So of course we have to clean up things this week. Like, it's not perfect. It's not we haven't arrived. But at the end of the day, how I felt was like this. We went through adversity with losing on them players. The vibe was killed. Philly just come off a big win. They hyped up.
Home opener.
It was a home opener, hostile environment. You could tell by the way they came out. Like the first play of the game, they was in the backfield. First play of the game in the backfield, crowd going crazy. So, it's like, bro, I just felt like it wasn't I just felt like, yeah, it wasn't a perfect win, but at the end of the day, specifically talking about Jimmy G, like, yeah, like,
All the
I've
clips and
seen
all
he
the
didn't make
replays. Yeah.
yeah, I've seen all that, but it's like to me, this is how I'm looking at it. Like I know who our quarterback is. Like I know who he is. It's Jimmy G. And for me, it's like he's not like them type of throws. It is frustrating when it happens, but what in the totality of the game, he helped us get a win. If he doesn't make some of those throws, if he doesn't, even like the Juwan Jennings one where he was wide open, I was listening to Juwan Jennings press conference. Like he said, he wasn't even he wasn't the first read. So even things like that, where it's like even though he's wide open, it wasn't like the play was for Juwan Jennings to get that wide open. He wasn't the guy who was like the little things like that, where it's like, okay, well he got him the ball, touchdown, the Debo Samuel pass, all them quarterback sneaks. He helped us get a win, and that's all I could ask for in a tough environment. Was it
Yeah.
perfect? No. Is Jimmy G like maybe my expectations are
Super
maybe I'll
low.
have
Yeah.
higher expectations for
Yeah.
him.
I mean, what you're
But like
talking about.
you like his contract and all this, that, and the third. It's like okay, it
Your
is what it
feeling is it's
is.
a sunk cost. Your feeling is it's a sunk cost. It's already done. We've already made our bed. We put ourselves in this position, and we know who he is. But he's leading our team, and the guys rock with him. I get you, but I just think that I and other fans have higher expectations. And it's not to say that I'm disappointed or I'm upset, or he did, do what he had to do to get us a gritty win in on the road, like all those things that you mentioned. We had to start off 2-0, and we did that. We started off 2-0, mission complete. But I think where I'm coming from and a lot of other faithful, it's just the opinion and the perspective of looking longer term, and not talking about like the future of this team and the Super Bowls, just literally like down the week. Like a lot of people don't think a performance like that is going to be good enough for some of these teams that we're going to be playing upcoming. And I get it. We're not playing those teams in that game. It's one game at a time. We did enough for Philly. I just think that, looking at whether it's like passes to use check that were little screens, that just ball placement wasn't there to start off the game, you would want to see just getting off to a little bit more, because we've seen it from Jimmy before. Like, you're talking about a hostile environment. Like, yeah, Philly's hostile environment, home open, all that. But we've seen Jimmy, people like to point to a lot, the New Orleans game that I was at, years back, where we're in a hostile environment and we need to win that game. And he comes out.
Right. I mean, but it was also the Philly defense was playing good. It wasn't like it was just like, I feel like
But I
it
mean,
wasn't a lot of like,
JB, when you look at like, I get that. That's a fair. They were a solid
like
defense. But JB, like,
there's
but JB, I'm talking about like, not throwing an accurate pass to Juszczyk on a small little screen, overthrowing Ayuk, and like we're so much of like, oh, Jimmy led us to a victory is like, yeah, he didn't throw any picks. That could have been a pick easily. Ayuk didn't even tip the ball, was so high. It was a terrible throw.
You talking about the one that everybody posted on Twitter?
I don't know if everybody posted it, but yeah, the overthrow, like somewhat down the middle on the right side to Ayuk. I think he was coming in on a post and he just completely air melted. Ayuk didn't even tip the ball. It could have been an interception easy. And it's like all the inaccurate throws on the sideline, like he's not going to be perfect. No quarterback is going to be perfect. But it's just like, in terms of expectations, I think that's the key word, expectations. Like, do you at least have the expectations that he can hit those throws? Because if you don't,
he hits throws though. He does hit throws though. I mean, it's like I understand he missed those throws, but he did hit Debo down the middle.
The expectations.
He's not hit Debo down the middle.
Okay.
I mean, I'm saying like I hear what you're saying. I hear you're upset that he missed those throws, but okay, he like you just said not everybody's gonna be perfect. Okay, so he missed those throws early on, and then he also made throws after that.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Shanahan, like, it wasn't a super impressive, creative, especially in the run game plan. But he's always there's gonna be things that are open, and I don't want to just give Shanahan all the credit for anything that Jimmy does as good. Jimmy, leads the team. He's a hard playing quarterback, but again, it comes down to expectations, and I guess you can transition from that to talking about Trey Lance in terms of, you don't think Trey Lance's floor is at least that big? You don't think he can at least all the overthrows? Let me just finish. All the overthrows that he did, all the errant passes and whatnot. I think Trey Lance could do that and add something to your run game and have you just have a little bit more dynamic ability with having somebody who's a threat to make plays as well. That's the question. And I'm not even saying.
All right. First of all, like who knows if he could, like who knows, yeah, if he came in, like we don't know, he didn't play, so it's like we really, I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day it's like this, like okay, you're saying like not everything Jimmy G do Trey can do, and it's like sure he can. I mean, but it's like, but we've also seen Trey do things where it's like, does he hit that throw to John Jennings?
We haven't seen Trey in the regular season.
I'm just saying though. So it's like, does he throw the ball bullet pass to somebody over the middle and it gets tipped and it gets intercepted? Like, it's not like
does he score before that where it's not even necessary? We don't know. And my point is
exactly we don't know. Exactly, we don't know. But and then also, do you know he was playing? I mean, this is the part where it's like he literally was playing scout team for Jalen Hurts this week. And I don't know if he's gonna do scout team like that every week, but I mean, when you do scout team, that means that you're practicing against the defense when you guys break up, and so it's like you're not on the offensive side, you're on the defensive side, running cards. Like they got the cards up and it says do this route. And so he's doing that. So it's like he's not even
in the best position to succeed. I'm not in the best position to
succeed, but like they're not even
practicing. They're not even practicing with him as the ones. I get it. He's not. So what you're saying though is that he's not in the best position to succeed because he hasn't been practicing to come in the game and do that. Like basically saying that like he's not ready. Like that. I think like, and that's something that we're not going to fully know. Like Shanahan and the team, they're there at practices. They they have their assessment. And even when Jimmy G first came to our team, when we made the trade for him, I think the fans were clamoring for him to play a little bit before he actually got the chance to play. It's like we wanted to see him. We wanted to see what he could do. We were excited, similar to this Trey Lance vibe. But Shanahan was, kind of putting off playing him because he didn't think he knew everything. He didn't have the playbook down. That was said a lot. Like he didn't fully have it down, the grasp of everything. But then when he got in the games, he ended up being a baller. And maybe like it's an aspect of like, you're playing with, it was a losing team. There's nothing on the line. There was nothing, like the expectations and the pressure are completely different. And maybe that's the reason that one of the reasons at least that Shanahan feels like he doesn't want to throw Trey out there. I mean, we saw Zach Wilson 4 interceptions. We saw Trevor Lawrence, not a good game. You don't maybe necessarily want to throw a rookie to the fire. But I think like the point that I have and a lot of other faithful have is it's just a matter of when you're going to put Trey in. We all know that. We traded all these picks for him. We know that he's the future of the team. It's just a matter of when. And it's like when Jimmy, yes, we're winning. Granted, it's 2-0. We got those 2 wins. Like, got them for sure. Like, in Jimmy G, first week, like I said on the post-game show that we did on this same channel, no issues with him. Like, people were criticizing the throw. He had the Debo, the long pass. Like, come on, man. Like, dude was under duress, got it out, like, did his thing. Like, and I just feel like keeping that same energy with this Philly game, he wasn't hitting everything like that. I just can't, like, I know he won the game. We won the game. I don't want to say he won the game because we associate wins with him so much, but it's the whole team effort. Our defense played great. The defense did what they had to do. Our running game couldn't really get it going. And Jimmy G made some plays that he needed to make. But I'm just saying that, like, Detroit game's a great example. I'm not going to give him that same level of praise because even though they're both wins, they weren't both. He didn't have the similar performance as them, in my opinion. There was a lot that needs to be cleaned up from Jimmy. Like if we're looking at that game, what are you going to criticize? In terms of things to criticize, it really is like Jimmy and maybe Shanahan with some of the play calling, but even then, like he was playing a ball control, gritty game. Like I get it, but the defense, there's not really much to say about the defense. We can talk about the corners if you want. We can talk about Demo and his play, but I mean, I feel like he played a solid game. So there's really not much to say
man,
on
all
the
he did,
criticism side other than Jimmy.
I feel
In
like,
my opinion,
honestly, like this is what I feel like with
what you feel
Jimmy
like?
G. If we're not able to run the ball well, then it's going to be hard for him to. I mean, it's just going to be hard for the offense to like.
What do you think is going to help the run game?
It's
What are some ideas,
complementary.
especially when we got guys who are hurt, especially when guys are out? We can't just expect Elijah Mitchell to go out there as a 6th-round pick to just be Mostert, even though he had 100 yards first week.
No,
We
no,
can't
no.
just
But
expect
I
him to
mean,
do that
but
every
like
week.
you could just tell the way the D line was like. I mean, yeah, I'm not expecting him to be Monster, but you could just tell that it was a
It
game
was
where
tough.
like yeah, there wasn't there's
Trey
not
Lance
always
might
you
help.
can't always expect to just have these lanes. Like that's what they also some next week might be some weeks might will be better than others in terms of running the ball, in terms of how effective we're able to do it.
Yeah,
But when we're not able to do it that effectively, then I mean it's like everything slows down.
yeah,
But with that being said, and it puts pressure on our defense, but with that being said, I mean, I feel like, all right, but this is a game that we kind of it was like, yeah, it wasn't working, but we still found a way to get it done. And
yeah,
I just feel like that'll help you. It can, I mean, it's a long season. We'll see how it goes, but I feel like that can help you going on into other games when it's hard to get the ball running. Because at the end of the day, that's our offense. If we can't run the ball, then we're not gonna be just
yeah.
that's gonna slow everything down. And
And I
I
think,
like and that's who we and I don't know if that's because of Jimmy G or if that's the Shanahan system, like where everything is based off the running. Like everything we do is set up for
yeah, we are a
running.
run first team. That's how they talk about, oh, we have the fourth, no matter who's starting, we have the 4th best quarterback in the division and whatnot. Like, yeah, well, we're a running team. That's how we get our explosive plays primarily and whatnot, is off the run or through the run. So, I definitely I hear what you're saying, but some portion of the faithful would say that, Trey Lance should help out your run game, in terms of like the explosive plays and whatnot. But I hear you. Like, my personal opinion is like, especially with I was with like trade Jimmy, all that type of stuff, right? But the fact that you didn't and you're at this point, what are you going to do? He's on the team. Of course, you're going to play him. Like, I'm not even saying that Trey Lance should be playing. I'm just saying before we even get there, it's fair and it's okay to criticize Jimmy for not having the greatest game. He got it through. He got it through a win. Like, we respect that. We appreciate that. But it's okay to want a little bit more. Like, that's just my opinion on the whole thing. Just from going on, logging into 49ers Twitter,
Want a
and even
little
seeing
bit
some of these
more. I mean,
comments.
yeah, it's okay. If you want a little bit more, that's on you. You feel me? You want a
Yeah,
little bit more.
yeah.
But
Your
for me, it's
expectations
like
are so low, though. Your
it's not
expectations are
a
so
solo.
low.
We gotta win. We gotta win. It's all good
So,
until
so
it
there's,
ain't.
so there's no,
It's all good until it ain't. And then with Trey Lance, it's like you
nah,
can't like
man.
this is what it is. This is what that's what I'm gonna say. With Trey Lance, you can't be in a locker room
I disagree.
and first of all, because it's like you don't know what Trey Lance is gonna do. And that's a real thing. You don't you everybody like you're just thinking about the highs and stuff.
Let's
Like
not
you
talk
don't
about
know.
Trey then. Just talk about Jimmy. Let's not talk about Trey. Let's just talk
No,
about
let's
Jimmy
talk
then.
about because Jimmy did we're 2-0. Jimmy, we're 2 and
So
0 with
okay, I
Jimmy.
started. I
I mean,
started off.
Jimmy has 0 picks. He has
He
0
could have
interceptions.
had a pick. That's
I
not
mean,
good enough.
that
That's not
happens
good
in
enough,
every
man.
football game. Everybody could have had a pick, but he has 0
Okay.
right now.
I guess,
He
I
could have
guess,
had
man.
he could have had more.
So it's just chance. It's just chance then.
I'm
If it
right.
ends up being a pick that like a defender actually makes the catch on, then it's like a game changing play. And if things go wrong, it's like we'll criticize it then. But because he didn't catch it, it's all good. There's no
I mean,
criticism
but
at
he
all for
could
him even
okay,
making
but
that
my
play.
point is this. The point is this. At the end of the day, we
It's
at the
not
end
just
of the
about
day,
results. It's about process.
okay,
It's not just
but
about
I'm just
results.
telling you about okay, well, you're saying your opinion, and I'm saying in terms of a team chemistry and people in the locker room, like at the end of the day, you're 2-0. You're 2-0.
Yeah.
You won 1-0 with him
Yeah.
last week. You feel me?
And he had a
And
good game last week.
Shanahan has to manage this. He has to manage this
He does.
situation.
Okay,
Okay.
so
And
the
so we
quote,
already so you're 2-0. You were 1-0 last week. You're 2-0. Like I said, Trey Lance didn't even really practice like in terms he was scout team player of the week. So obviously he was going hard on the scout team last week. So it's like you're trying to win the game. You're just trying to win the game. And Jimmy G can win games. Like at the end of the day, it might not look pretty, but he could help. Not to say, and I'm not saying you're not gonna win because of him, but he's gonna help you win, and there's something about it. I mean, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. It's something about it that like he's gonna help you win. You know, it might, like I said, it might not be pretty, it might not be flashy, but at the end of the day, he's gonna help you win. So you're trying to win games
yeah.
so you get far in this season.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
like with Trey Lance, I
I'm not
understand
even
you
talking
want to
about
see
Trey,
this.
but go ahead. Yeah.
It is about Trey because Jimmy hasn't played terrible.
Yeah,
It is all about Trey. If Nick Mullins was behind Jimmy, we wouldn't be talking about this.
we absolutely wouldn't. Yeah, because there's not a that's not
So
our
it is about
future.
Trey. So it is about Trey.
I don't. But I'm saying my point is like it's okay. You're on the level of like we won the game. He didn't play perfect, but we got the win. Just like shut it out. I'm on the perspective of like that's fine. He could play and everything, but just in analyzing the game and doing a post game reaction and talking about how our team did and the prospects moving forward, I was a little disappointed by some of his play. Detroit, I did not have that same feeling. This game, I did. I expected
That's
more from
fine.
Jimmy. Yeah,
That's fine. If you,
That's all I'm
I
saying.
mean, that's fine. Okay, if you weren't happy with his play, that's fine. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, like that's like I don't like. I mean, if you were like that's fine. Like shit. With the corners, I'm not like I'm not ecstatic about they play, but you know, it's like okay, like
yeah, I
I
know,
respect it.
but those are and
No, but I'm
again,
just there. You saying you that's how you feel. That's how I feel about the corners. You feel differently
sure.
about the corners.
Sure, you're associating Jimmy with our third, fourth round draft pick and Josh Norman, who we just got 2 weeks ago, versus a quarterback who's been here for a few years for us now and is being paid $27 million to
I
lead
mean,
this
but like
team.
at the end of the day, like I mean, yeah, that's
You're saying
that's
it's all sunk
that's
cost, but
that's what goes within your mindset of thinking about it. Like you know, you're thinking about the money. You're thinking about, um, I'm just thinking
If
about.
Jimmy G was a $15 million player, it wouldn't be as critical because it would be you would treat him differently too because it would be what it was. You want to get to some of these comments. I know you want to get to some of these comments. Let's get to some of these comments. It's all good.
I'm not happy with Jimmy G play either. I want more. I want more.
Yeah, it's
Jimmy,
okay to want more. Hey, I hear you, bro.
Jimmy
It's
has
okay to want
taken us
more.
to the Super Bowl, so
Okay, time out,
Jimmy,
time out, time out. Okay, so all right, Jimmy G. I think it's fine to again like it's a blurred line when you're associating wins directly with Jimmy G. It's like to me, it's like a starting quarterback versus a non-starting quarterback. Because to your point about Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard, like they weren't really giving us starting quarterback play, and they weren't really drafted. Nick Mullins wasn't drafted. Period. Like he was an undrafted player, and that's it's different when you're comparing somebody who's your starting quarterback making $27 million a year. Like, and if you have that person
I
And
mean, yeah. I
I'm
mean,
just saying, I just feel like in terms of the wins, I'm not saying it's a gray area because obviously quarterback is a more important position than other positions in the sport. You're going to associate wins more with them, but I just don't feel like it's an end all be all. When you look at that playoff run to the Super Bowl that we got, you're going to give them the credit for all the wins, but not the credit for the loss in it. Number one. Number two, look at the Green Bay game. How many quarterbacks could have done what Jimmy G did in the Green Bay Bay? Come on. Are we really going to give him credit for that game? You're
right.
going to give him
Hey,
credit for that game.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. I
Eight
hear you.
passes?
But
Eight
at the end of the
passes. And that's just a
day,
W on, and that's just
hey
him.
man, I hear you. I hear you. I hear what you're talking about. Like
I'm just
I've been
addressing
down
that
this.
comment.
I've been. I mean, but we all right. But at the end of the day, though, like at the end of the day, man, it's if you win, then it doesn't matter. Like it's
I
like I know
was
you're like it's the process and all that, but it's
I'm big on that.
like
Yeah, process,
no,
all those
I
things.
get it. I
And
get it. I get it.
and
It's
not
the
just looking at
process.
the end, he threw 8
Okay.
passes. I was Jared Goff today watching that Packers Lions game. I was saying like you Jared Goff, he's been to 2 Pro Bowls, like so I feel like, and he's also led his team to a Super Bowl. So you can say on stats alone and whatnot that he was a first round pick, I think first pick in the draft. You can say that I feel like Jared Goff is probably better than Jimmy G, but I prefer Jimmy G because I feel like Jimmy G is like he's just a leader. He like say what you want to say, like the winner, leader. I'll give him some of that. He has intangibles. Like I feel more comfortable with him at the helm. Like I feel good about like our chances to go into war. I'm not just like absolutely shitting on Jimmy G and knocking Jimmy G. I'm just pointing out the criticisms that I have, and I feel like when you do that with,
I
with
mean,
some of our fan
okay,
base, it's such a
all right.
polarizing thing. It's like we can't criticize them.
No,
Like
but listen, because it's like you okay, but it's like how often are we gonna talk about the money or this or that? It's like at the end of the day, we're in the 2021 season. It is week 2. All of that right now is out the door
I
because it
was
doesn't.
addressing, in my defense, I
No,
was
no.
addressing the
But
comment
I'm
that
saying,
said that he was a
you've been
winner.
talking
I was
about the
bringing it back
money
to
a
that.
lot. You've been
Yeah,
talking about the money a lot when in terms of his
absolutely.
play and all of that. It's like this.
Is this a factor?
We're in the 2021 season. This is
Right.
week 2. We're going on
Yes.
to week 3. At the end of the day, can you go 1-0? Can we go 1-0? Okay, that's what it's all about. Can we go 1-0 next week? Can we go 1-0 this week? Can we
I hear you.
beat
Yeah.
the
If
Packers?
from that
And
from
then at
that
the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like it's like Jimmy G. Like I said, for me, I know what Jimmy G is. I'm not expecting him to go to
be a
be
Pro
better than he
Bowler or
was
yeah.
last year
Right.
or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Like you're gonna get some. You're not gonna get
One
top.
bonehead play. Yeah. Right.
You're not gonna get top 10 quarterback play though from Jimmy G. You're gonna get an ugly pass here and there. But what else are you gonna get? You're gonna get a chance to win. Only game we probably got blown out with Jimmy G last year was like the
Miami.
Seattle game
Or
and the Miami game. Those were ugly games with him. But other than that, I feel like we always be in it. You know, always are in it when he's playing quarterback. So with
against
Trey
the
Lance,
Jets and the Giants, and yeah, I mean, last year was tough. If you were bringing up last year, it's tough. I mean, we played some pretty poor teams to start off the year,
I'm
and he
saying
struggled, and
he barely played
He
last
had
year.
injuries, so we got to give him that. But he
Right.
played 6 games. Yeah, and it
So
wasn't a great record. And we what? Say again.
my
Go
thing
ahead.
is just in general though, and so it's like this. If we have an opportunity to win with Jimmy G and Trey Lance, like it's not like he just was perfect in preseason. Like he had some he did some like I
Definitely.
understand like you're like, okay, well he can't do no worse. Like yes, he can do worse. Do you remember that sequence in the
We didn't
Chargers?
really. It's tough
Do
if
you
you
remember
want to.
that sequence in the Chargers?
Whoa. Yes, I remember the sequence in the Chargers. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Interception, sack, almost strip fumble,
Okay.
back
Yeah.
to back
It
to
was
back.
bad. It was
Okay,
bad.
then. So my point is this. My point is this. We don't have to rush you out there.
Yeah.
We won our
I
last game.
I wasn't even trying to talk about Trey. I know you're saying it's about Trey. I was just talking about Jimmy. I was just talking about Jimmy and my criticisms of him. And again, this gets very polarizing sometimes, at least on 49ers Twitter, when I bring up that topic. So, man, let's get to some of these comments, man. It's a lot of them pouring in. You know what I mean? A nice little heated, friendly conversation. Pick whatever you want, man. I'm looking at these
I mean,
comments
it's
too.
hella shit. I'm gonna
He said
just go
Jimmy is
down.
only okay.
He can leave his playoffs. That's not good enough. Why trade 3 players? Y'all talk about dude like he's the sole reason for wins. I want better.
That's fine to want better. That's what I've been saying, y'all. Like and that's okay. Like it's okay to like still support Jimmy despite having those feelings. Like I don't like I'm rocking with Jimmy. Like to me, my whole thing is like I know you said this is like process and it's a sunk cost. We're here. We got to go 1-0 this week. I get it. But looking at it from a little bit bigger of a picture and what's happened to this point, me and some other fans have some questions and some complaints about what's gotten us to this point that we're at right now. But the fact of the matter is, we're at this point. He is our quarterback. And if he's going to be on your team making all that money, I just feel like, why else would you have him on the team unless he's going to play? You're going to have him on the bench? What's the point of having Jimmy G on the bench right now? Like that's not something you can do. I agree with you. Like he's got it. You can say that Trey
Wait,
Lance
you
is
want
getting
you want
paid
him to
more.
play? I'm
What do you mean?
confused.
Yeah. Okay, let me explain it to you. I
Are
feel
you
like
are you just honestly you just want to cut him?
that I wanted to cut him
No,
or
no,
trade
but
him.
but you always keep talking about cutting him. Like all right, so
No,
like you want to cut him now?
no, I'm explaining to you my stance right now, which is I would have preferred that we made those decisions, but we didn't. And if he's going to be on your team right now, and this is the situation that the management and the leadership of the team wanted us to be in, then you have to play him. Because why would you have Trey come in and Jimmy just be on the bench making all that money? It doesn't make sense to me. Like if Jimmy G is going to be on your team, like he's got to start at least through this point. Like maybe Trey Lance gets packages here and there that we thought we were going to see a little bit more of, similar to the Raiders preseason game. Maybe he gets a little bit more run, but like you have to let Jimmy G just give Trey Lance the opportunity, meaning like he's got to really like throw hella picks and we got to lose games and, all those sort of things for Trey to really get on the field like that, for that to happen right now. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, and until that happens, Jimmy G's not doing that right now. I'm just simply watching the games saying I'm super excited of the fact that we're 2-0. I'm super excited about that. But like in this past Philly game, I had some criticisms, and those are the things that you're saying, man, like if we had a little bit more dynamic of a quarterback. And the thing with Trey Lance is too, so many times we spend time talking about his ceiling, like how much we're excited about this and that. To me, I'm talking about his floor. I'm talking about like, to me, like at least if we can have a dynamic running game, if we can do like small, and again, I'm not saying he's ready to play right now and all those sort of things, bro. Like I'm not saying bringing him in right now. My whole opinion though is about his floor, not his ceiling. I'm talking about his floor. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
He's a rookie quarterback,
I
so
know he's a rookie quarterback. We saw
his floor.
I,
You see what these rookie quarterbacks are doing tonight.
Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, 4-pick game, one
Justin
pick not
Fields,
playing well.
even.
Like Justin, I didn't really catch the last
I
Justin
mean,
Fields game.
he didn't. He was 6
I
for
knew
13
I
with a pick.
know they missed a touchdown. I saw that. Yeah. But
So all I'm saying is his floor is. All I'm saying is this, and if we keep winning, then Jim is going to stay in. The moment we start losing, we're going to see Trey.
that's
So
what I'm
that's how
saying.
it's going to
That's
go.
exactly what I just said. Like the moment Jimmy G has
Exactly.
he has to foster that to happening. Like we have to ride with him, see what he can do, see what we can do in this gauntlet of games that we have coming up, and see how we come out of it. Like and until then, we're not going to see. I'm not even talking about Trey. I just want to emphasize that. Like obviously I was on the let's just play him. Like
But how could you not talk about Trey if we talk about Jimmy?
well,
Like, come on, man.
because again, like any other player, like if you want to talk about the corners right now and like how like oh this could have been better, that could have been better. Like I want to do the same thing with Jimmy. I want to be able to come on, talk about his performance, say like yeah it wasn't perfect, and move on instead of it being such a polarizing thing every time.
No,
That's
but
all I'm saying.
it is a polarizing thing because while the game is going on and Jimmy ain't doing these things, what are you want? You want another person to come in. That's
That's
why
what you.
it's not just you can't just say like it ain't about Trey, but it is about Trey because you want another person to come in. When you see Jimmy doing certain things, it's like you really want to see that other piece in there. When our running game ain't going good, you want to see Trey in there.
Well, I think our team. I mean, to be fair, I mean, we'll see how you think about it. But to be fair, like this is how our team has set it up. This is how Shanahan set it up. He said it was going to be a dual system. We
Okay.
saw at least.
Right. He
Yeah,
said
I'm not because I'm not talking about like starting and all that stuff, all that sort of stuff right now. I'm talking about like needing a. I mean, you saw how the first drives were going. Our running game wasn't doing anything. It wasn't even like we're not even just talking about like passes.
You wanted to bring in the next guy.
Fair enough.
Which is like I said, we all want to see that. We all would be excited to see that. But like
we
like
want to make sure it's successful, and they think it's the best to not have him. He's not ready.
And if we win, then
if we win, yeah.
Look back at it in hindsight. How I look at it, if we win, in hindsight, look back, that was Kyle. You did a
right
good
thing
job.
to do. Okay,
you did a good job.
Fair enough. I just feel like
then if we lost, I know if we lost, I just don't think it was a
Sure,
I mean,
that's fair.
then the heat gonna start coming.
That's fair enough. I would just say, like, back to what I was saying in the beginning of the show, man, with that Tom Brady, example of him coming to the podiums, always talking about he scores 5 touchdowns and is like, oh, I left a lot out there on the field. There's, that's how his energy is every time. And I know, okay, comparing to Tom, but like, do you want to be great? It's like it's okay to. My whole thing is like it's okay to criticize in a win, just
Wait,
because you won.
what are you saying about what's the Tom Brady comparison? I'm confused.
I said like he came to his press. He's been
No,
doing
no,
this.
no. I'm saying like, who are you comparing Tom Brady?
I'm
Like,
talking about. I'm talking about in general the concept of greatness, the concept of criticism, the concept of expectations. Like it's okay to want more, even if you do well for yourself. It's okay to not be just like enamored with all
right,
the
but
praise.
you want more. You want more out of Jimmy G.
You don't.
I
I
don't
like
expect more. I don't want
I
like
saw the
Tom Brady.
Detroit
Hold on,
game.
hold on.
I
Tom
saw the
Brady is
Detroit
putting
game.
himself.
I'm not talking about comparing him to Tom Brady. I'm comparing him to himself.
No, but
I've
I'm
seen.
saying this. Listen. All I'm saying. Of course, okay. What do you? All right. So I'm confused. Like he didn't play a perfect game, but it's like I'm supposed to. All right. I guess
Perfect. I'm not.
you want him. No, I'm saying you want him to perform better than who he is because this is like because I'm saying the game to me was just like it wasn't egregious. It wasn't like terrible. He missed some throws, but he also made some throws and he helped us win. So
Okay.
I'm saying you want him to be like, no, I want him to be better. Like you want him to be like
The
better.
best version of himself, man. I guess I'll say it like this. It seems
But he
like
ain't gonna. But we all know nobody's gonna be, especially playing football. They're not gonna always. They're gonna have good games and bad games. You know what I'm
if
saying?
I think
And
that's the
like
point.
I'm saying, it wasn't a bad game for him in terms of it wasn't like a terrible game, but you're gonna have good games and bad games. Like Tom Brady's gonna have games where he don't throw touchdowns, he throw interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I guess the point I was going to make is that, yeah, I think what separates elite players in this league in most sports and most things in life, really, from players that are just good or players that are average, is consistency. And I think because we have seen that from Jimmy G. Like I said, even the Detroit week, maybe there was more. The Philly defense isn't Detroit's defense, so it's like you're playing a different team. It's a different week. You may have a different game plan. Shanahan bears some responsibility for all that in terms of how the players do. So it's a different situation, apples or oranges, right? But I guess like what I'm saying is that like I would want to see. I know Jimmy's a flawed player. Like I know Jimmy's not Tom Brady and all these things, but I just still have a little bit higher expectations to be a little bit more critical of him than at least you are, which is fine. Like I don't think that means I want him to be something he's not. I just want him to be the best version of himself. And I think like also comparing him to previous years and whatnot, he said the game was slowing down for him. It's his 8th year. He's seen some things like you just want to see some development. He's only been through a full season one time. Like even though he's like older of a player, Jimmy G, he's not that experienced as you would think he is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you still want to see a little bit of growth from him. I know
No,
you're saying
trust
like
me.
he.
I hear you. I hear you. Like I hear you. Like you want to see a little bit gross, but I guess my point is like I just don't. I just expect him to be the same player
Yeah.
who's
So I
gonna
and
like
so really
who's
like
gonna.
I have higher expectations of Jimmy G than you. Like really like
No, yeah, I guess so. I guess so because
yeah, so that's like a positive on him. Like that's like really honestly me looking at him like I look at you more than that. That's why like I want to see a little bit
right,
better, like
right,
the
and
overthrows and stuff like that.
like I feel like
I mean,
Jimmy G
shoot,
is,
to your
huh?
point, Dak Prescott overthrew somebody for a pick to Asante Samuels Jr., who we could have drafted, but let's not get into that. But Dak Prescott's throwing picks. Like you said, Tom Brady's gonna throw picks. Nobody's perfect, but I just think that it's okay to criticize and win. That's it, man. That's it, man. What else we got in the
Yeah.
comment
No,
section,
I
man?
mean, let's see. I understand also for those, but this is yeah. I mean, yeah, man. Um, yeah. I mean, like I said, it was a
Yo, hold up. Some of these commenters, man, like Sergeant Meow, that's so raw. Like this, like you made a YouTube channel named Sergeant Meow. Like, I want to know if that person has content on their channel. Like, is there like a bunch of things with I just anyways, shout out to all the shout out all the people commenting. This is Croc Talk TV, but it's 49365. Make sure y'all give us a follow too, man, at 49x365. Follow us on YouTube. We really appreciate all the love and the hate. Some of y'all be hating. Y'all be like, man, who these guys on Croc's channel right now? Let me get back to Croc right now. I see them comments. It's all good, man. I appreciate all hate is a new love. That's what they say. Hate is a new love, man. At least you care about us. What else we got, man? Until we
Right
start
here.
losing, everybody needs to relax. Yeah, that's what JB's saying. Like we at the end of the day, we're 2-0. You got the two on the road, hostile environment. Appreciate you, Matt. Hostile environment, like we are 2-0, and I'm very excited about that. I don't want to put anything. You want to talk more about the game? Do we want to get off this Jimmy topic? Do we want to talk more about the game or
Yeah, the game. I mean, like I said, the things like it was like I said. I just feel like it was one of them
grind it out?
intense games. Like I said, just the team. Like they defense was fired up. Like I said, just
Yeah,
the way the first series went. It was like these dudes was like on it. I don't know. It just seemed like they knew. It just seemed like their defense had a beat on our offense in terms of,
from the first snap.
with Shanahan and the, defensive battle. It seemed like, they were on it and they knew how to play us right away. And the crowd was rocking. It was hype. And I don't know. I just feel like those are the type of games you could see, like you could see you getting like kind of beat up, beat bad. If you're not a good team, like, if teams in the past, like I could see, like, teams in the past that we've had just come in and kind of get punched in the mouth, and then it's kind of over. It's over in the third quarter, and we coming back or whatever, But
It
I guess
just
I was just that was the vibe of it, and obviously, like I said, I was very concerned about the corner situation going into the game. Like I'm
hmm
like, damn, but they got tested,
yeah.
and they held up. They held up. Definitely made it respectable.
Yeah.
I just think they're gonna continue to get tested though.
Yeah, it's just like the NFL, like games and these teams are so fragile, man. It's like that's like one of my takeaways because it was one of those games. To your point, like in the first half, especially, it's like one play here or one play there that like doesn't go your way or does go your way, it's gonna change the whole entire vibe of the game. Like obviously we could talk about, the whole 2-minute warning or the last 2-minute drive we had, and then Jimmy G hitting Debo and basically getting downfield and leading to our score. We could also talk about the Jalen Hurts pass he completed for 90 plus yards that we eventually stopped and eventually got 4 stops in the goal line. I think that was even after that was after the penalty that Josh Norman had, I believe. I think we had like there one player, 2 plays, and then he had the penalty, and then they had 4. We basically stopped them more than 4 times. But in any case, like it's so fragile. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like if one thing goes off, but we ended up making some plays, like you said. Some teams in the past maybe have not have done it, and it was a very gritty win. But I also feel like when you playing like on the road at them hostile environments, it's like similar to what Kinlaw said. It's almost like they come up like super hyped. The teams would be like they're just juice. But then as the game goes on, like all that stuff goes out the window, and it's just about execution and who wants it more and all those sort of things. And not to say that they folded or anything, but like Kinlaw said, man, we outlasted them. Like it was one of them. We survived it. Like we really survived it. So, shout out to the defense. Shout out to Tart. Shout
Yeah,
out to
shout out.
Warner. Shout out to even they PFF just loves Armstead this year, talking about he's getting all these pressures. Hey, he is pushing that pocket back. I'm not going to just be critical all the time and not give players their respect when they have done things to, earn it. I don't really know if I agree with all the pressures they're saying he has and whatnot, but he does do the dirty
Hey,
work. He is like that blue collar guy that sets it up.
Armstead is like Jimmy G.
He is. That's why I said that before because of the
That's what it's like.
contract.
It's like
Because of the contract.
he is who he is though.
And
And
if
so it's like I feel like, yeah, I get it. Like with me, like going into last year, Armstead, it was like, all right, like it's like, no, you're Armstead. If
yeah,
you're around,
adjust
like
your expectations.
if you're on a winning team and
Mhm.
you're around other people, then it's gonna be like, okay. But as soon as like we start to tail off and
Mhm.
the pass rush isn't great, you're not
Mhm.
gonna be the one to propel us into being a good defense. And
And with
that's who
Jimmy
he
G,
is.
yeah, and with Jimmy G, like if you have the offensive weapons and health, and you have the run game, and you have the
Right.
defense, like you're going to be able to manage that team and to develop wins for us. But and I think is the one similarity too with them is like their contracts. Because if Armstead was like a $10 million guy, I think that people would look at him a little bit differently. It's just the fact that he demanded and got that, and people have resentment towards him because of Buckner and yada yada yada. There's other things, and I think people have resentment towards Jimmy because of Trey Lance and stuff. So I mean, you can make comparisons for sure between those two guys. What else we got, man? I know you got to get out soon. We don't gotta be on here too much longer. I just want to get through a few more of these comments. It's not hating on Jimmy G. We want to play better level, not what he showed on Sunday. That's mediocre, man. If you're gonna make a rookie mistakes, then let Trey play, who has an upside. Yeah, I mean, I think that, and I think like from a fan's perspective and from a like just not being in the team and whatnot perspective, is easy to say that, but we don't know, like JB was saying, if Trey is really ready. You know, there's other external factors about intangibles, and Jimmy G has been a winner for this team. The guys like him, so to make a big change like that, I feel like Jimmy G's really got to hand it over. You can't just like, have him
We
like
gotta start
kind of
losing.
struggle. Yeah, exactly,
If we
exactly.
lose, then like if we're winning though, it's like no, you can't do that. I mean, like you can. You're Shanahan. You could do it like that's like some
But it's a
hardball.
fragile move. It's a fragile move
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
it's like if you're winning and it's like man, you
You're gonna
winning.
change
Like
the vibe. Yeah, you got
nah,
to
you
go with.
can't do that. Like because if you change it and then we lose, they gonna look at you crazy.
Yep, and you can't put Jimmy back.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's
a
killed.
whole yeah. So I just feel like like you said we didn't cut him though. So
Right.
if we would have cut him we wouldn't have none of these issues.
then
So
and then and then we wouldn't maybe have like expectations that we have with the team in terms of winning and like the prospects of the team and whatnot, and it'd be a different energy possibly. Like, but because we have him and because we have this, we brought the band back. Like the expectations for the team until proven otherwise are gonna be like win 75-90% of your games, and so that's why we got Jimmy at the helm. And to Fast Family Affair, he said why we can't give Philly any credit for playing us tough instead of hating on Jimmy for not throwing 400 yards, 35 points. I think JB said it, man. Their defense in front from the first snap of the game, they was on it. Like they were on it, and they got some boys over there. So definitely got to tip your cap. And to all the Philly fans out there too, who was talking all that crap, man. I saw all the faithful out there doing their thing. We see y'all.
yeah, man.
Um,
But I think it was a crazy game. But like and we on the Monday night game was just on right now. Aaron
yeah,
Rodgers, you know,
Jared Goff, man. Jared Goff is
yeah,
he had a
Jared
pretty good
Goff,
game.
Aaron Rodgers, but I'm saying we got A-Rod next week, so
Mm.
they definitely they offense was is looking good. They defense, I feel like they defense. Now look, if Jimmy G struggles against Green Bay's defense, then we gotta talk.
Okay, all
Then
right,
that's
well,
when
fair
we
enough.
talk.
I will say this, man. Opening up the season, home opener, Sunday night football against the team who we saw the last time that we had a home game with fans in it, which was the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game from 2019. That was the last team that we faced. And, it's even revenge from last year's, what was it, Monday night game where, they
Thursday night.
Thursday night where we had
Yeah, the
all the
COVID.
COVID, all the
Yeah,
injuries, all that, like, and they got a little lucky win. We've been dominant against this Green Bay team, and I don't want to transition to really hell talking about Green Bay and getting it ready for that game, but it should be for all the faithful who are going there. Like I know y'all gonna be loud. Y'all got to be loud, man. Like home opener Sunday night. Are you kidding me?
Are
Green
you
Bay.
kidding me?
We're gonna hear on the broadcast them talk about the Niners could have drafted Aaron Rodgers
I
again.
mean, come on now. They need to give that up. That is
Hey,
like, bro, this if he still
hey,
carries a chip on his shoulder for that, then like I don't
hey,
think he does though. He was trying to
hey,
come to our team in the offseason.
hey,
So
death taxes and the ESPN talking about, or I guess it's NBC talking about Aaron Rodgers going to the Niners. I mean, hey, they're gonna talk about it. That's the storyline. But hey, by the way, did you see Patrick Willis on with the
nah,
Peyton
I
and
didn't.
the?
I didn't. I wasn't watching that one. I was watching the regular broadcast.
Yeah, I'll be watching the Peyton and Eli ones, man. It was cool just seeing, you know, Patrick on there. He's an interesting guy because like he just has like this serious energy, but he's also super like I don't know, like he's just he's an interesting guy. It seems like, man. So it's always dope hearing from him, seeing him on the big screen. I was telling you the other day, I know Marcellus Wiley for his top 10 players of all time had Patrick Willis on there, so it was dope to see. Just in the national media, him get some flowers. I mean, damn, he was raw as hell. I mean, damn.
Hey man,
Linebacker, you over
hey,
here.
hey that's why. Hey, when you do something, they're gonna forget about you the next day, no matter who it is. They
Yeah.
forgot about Michael Jackson already, so it don't matter what you do.
Damn,
Hey,
damn.
you gotta enjoy your life, man.
Absolutely. Off top.
Don't worry about what they talking about.
That's
P.
true.
Willis, you
That's
know what you
true.
did, P. Willis.
Hey, man. Yes. And also the Hall of Fame. I mean, being a second ballot guy, crazy. Like it makes no sense, especially if Luke Kuechly can go. But anyways, let's not get on some tangent. I'm really riding on you, man. I don't know if you want to keep going with this, if you want to go through the comments, or if you want to sign out. It's up to you. I know.
I'm ready. I'm ready to call it a short, call it a night. What we gonna do next? We gonna hop on ours next, or what we gonna do?
Yeah, it would be nice to get on our channel for once. At 49x365, searching in YouTube. We'll leave a comment, man, so you guys can follow. We appreciate all the love. Definitely we gotta do an episode talking more so about Green Bay, getting ready for this game. We gotta look ahead. And yeah, talk about what our expectations are, because I feel like let's establish them before the game. We gotta come in knowing what we are evaluating. What do we really expect?
At the end of the day,
Wins.
I'm gonna tell you that's all. That's like
Wins.
you was texting me earlier.
Jameis Winston.
That, huh?
Jameis Winston. How you do with the wins? The W's? We just wins.
Man,
That's all we need.
but you was texting me earlier, like I
Yeah.
forget what exactly you said, but basically that all these teams is hard. All these teams got talent. They hard.
All these teams have talent, man.
And so, we're going against Aaron Rodgers next week.
Yeah.
I just want us to have one more point than the Green Bay Packers.
Mm.
And I'm gonna be content. Honestly, I just want to win and not have no significant injuries to no significant key players. To me, if we do that, then I'm good, because at the end of the day, that's just a win. All you need is these wins. If you find a way to win all the other stuff, you could clean that other stuff up.
And you get to you get this thing called momentum, and you get this thing called mojo. It's like when you find different ways to win games, like a high scoring game, a low scoring game, a blowout where they came back, a game where you had to come back. Like you just feel like you're always in it and can win any game because you've been through it, So I feel like that's the other beauty of it. If we find multiple ways to win, maybe it's going to be a shootout. We are going against Aaron Rodgers. You always got to be ready for that, even though we've dominated him with our full squad. But the point, nonetheless, whatever we gonna get, we gotta be ready for it. We gotta get the win at the end of the day. And I agree with you, man. And all the faithful agree with you. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing, man. So let's stack them up. Let's stack them up, y'all. Any other thoughts, man, before we get out?
Just
Every
interested
season?
to see. Yeah, interested to see this week. Interested to see. Interested to see if number 5 gets in the game this week. That's all that matters. That's all we talking about. That's the controversy of it all. So interested to see what he doesn't need to play scout team this week. So we'll see about that. But like I said, it'll be I'm interested to see practice reports, who's practicing, who's not. That come on Wednesday though, so we'll be tapped in. The Seahawks took the L. Cardinals should have took the L. Rams, was in a battle in the fourth quarter to the Colts. So
it's hard to win in this league, man.
It's hard, and hey, this division is up for grabs, and we're definitely in it. We're definitely in it, and I don't look at none of these teams like, oh, they gonna whoop us, like they gonna beat us. Like, I mean, we could beat any of these teams, we could lose to any of them teams. So that's how it is, man. So I'm ready. We ready. Let's get it going. Wednesday practice. You dig?
Another one. Hey, man, highlight the shirt again, man. Show up the shirt, man, so they can see it, man. Trust the process every season, man. It doesn't matter what you're going through, man. You got to push through and persevere. You know what I mean? Like, do your thing, man. Whatever you were destined to do that, man. Faithful. Like this stuff, mental health tap in, mental health check in for real. Like it's bigger than sports. It's family. And like we said, like we opened up the show with, once again, RIP to Keandre. Every season, the brand, definitely respect that. And yeah, man, it's bigger than sports, man. Honestly, bro, like I appreciate you. I know we got a little heated argument. People don't always know, like we cousins, like we basically like brothers. You know what I'm saying? We first cousins. It was good being able to go. I had to go to a wedding this weekend in the Bay Area, so I was down there, was able to see both of the first games with you. You know what I'm saying? The first game of the season and the second game of the season. Like, man, like being there with the fam.
If we lose, man, you're gonna have to come back.
I know, man. I'm starting to we got a little mojo going, man. What's it called? Superstition. Maybe I gotta be in the Bay for these Dubs. We'll see. in the hat for sure. But yeah, it was good being there, tapping in with the fam. Whatever your ritual is, faithful, make sure that you keep doing it, because we 2-0. We got to keep this mojo going into Green Bay. Let's beat the Packers Sunday Night Football. If you're going to the game, make sure you're live. Appreciation also to Croc Talk TV for having us on once again for the post-game shows. We couldn't do right after the game because I had to fly back and things got a little messy. But like the shirt says, man, trust the process. We here. So signing out once again from 49365. My name is B Amechi. It's positive energy and good vibes. As always, I'm with JB.
We out. Hey, faithful. Stand up, baby.
Let's get it. Appreciate y'all.